All right, I'm going to explain President Trump pulling out of the Iran deal, the Obama-Iran nuclear weapons deal. It was crucial that Trump pulled out of that deal. Look, where to even begin? Obama is a traitor of America. He has consistently acted against the interests of America. And this deal with Iran was designed to give Iran nuclear weapons capability. Obama, through John Kerry, who is also a traitor, a treasonous actor, a treasonous part of the deep state, they worked through deals, including Uranium One that Hillary Clinton was involved in, to funnel uranium fuel to Russia that would be then refined or concentrated in essence and then shipped to Iran. In addition, Russia was transferring nuclear weapons technology such as delivery systems, a ballistic missile, nuclear know-how, let's say, to Iran, so that Iran would be able to not only build nuclear weapons because of all the material, the nuclear fuel, but also then be able to put those weapons onto ballistic missiles and threaten the entire region, most notably Israel. Obama funneled as much as $33.6 billion in cash. He money laundered cash and gold. Actual physical gold. He had it put on a cargo plane and flown into Iran. At the same time, he relaxed, or he unfroze, you might say, or released over $100 billion of assets that had been held of the Iranians, allowing them to invest that money in the nuclear weapons program. This push by Obama for the Iran nuclear weapons deal was fraudulent from the very start. That's why it was so heavily pushed by CNN and, of course, globalist lawmakers like John McCain and most of the Democrats. Anytime that you see CNN pushing for something, rest assured it's probably fraudulent. This was always about giving Iran nuclear weapons capability. Now, recently, in just the last 2 weeks or so, Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel went public with a major intelligence finding that had uncovered a treasure trove of secret documents hidden in a secret location inside Iran that showed Iran has continued to pursue a covert nuclear weapons development and nuclear weapons delivery program. These documents, which are, I don't know how many, hundreds of thousands of pages, and I think he said there were 180 plus CD-ROMs of additional documents, included diagrams, charts, spreadsheets, log files, all things confirming that Iran was without question working on all 5 phases of its nuclear weapons program. And those phases include, of course, nuclear weapons fuel acquisition, fuel enrichment, through centrifuges and such, weapon delivery systems, creation of the warhead bomb. How do you actually put chemical explosives around a nuclear warhead and cause the implosion that reaches criticality, that causes the nuclear detonation, and so on? All of these documents were found, and Netanyahu went public with them. The left-wing media, the lying CNN and Fox News and all these other left-wing media organizations have tried to cover this up. And this is why you have seen Obama, Hillary Clinton, John Kerry, and others now going on to Twitter and other places and saying, oh, it's a horrible thing that Trump pulled out of this deal. He's going to take us to the brink of war. You got to understand, the Democrats say the opposite of what they're doing. When they say pulling out of the Iran deal takes us to the brink of war, what is true is that staying in the Iran deal takes us to the brink of nuclear war. Democrats, they routinely say the opposite of what they're doing. Obama, for example, said that this deal originally would deny Iran the capability to acquire nuclear weapons. In reality, this program gave Iran funding and technical know-how and nuclear fuel to create nuclear weapons. You see, so it's exactly the opposite of what it's claimed to be. Now, Trump gets this. Trump knows that this was a bad deal. Trump knows that it would destabilize the region, that Iran having nuclear weapons would threaten everyone from Saudi Arabia to Israel and other, so-called allies of America throughout the region, and that it would put Iran in a position of holding a gun to the heads of every nation in the entire region, potentially for thousands of kilometers in terms of a radius, because Iran is working on ballistic missile delivery systems that have ranges of thousands of kilometers. So that puts it, within the range of probably India, for that matter, and Pakistan and the other countries, not to mention, Turkey and Jordan and all the rest. Not that Iran would want to nuke those countries. I'm just saying that's the geography. Those are the ranges. And it wouldn't take long before Iran could nuke, frankly, Germany or the United Kingdom. So, this is a pretty big deal. The Middle East is not that far from a lot of Western Europe, such as Greece, for example. So when Iran starts acquiring this nuclear material and nuclear weapons capability, a lot of people start getting nervous. But the globalists were pushing for it. The globalists. Now, Obama is, of course, a Muslim. Obama has always lied about his religion. He always claimed to be a Christian, but he's actually a practicing Muslim, and he sought to destroy the United States. He was raised up in a family that taught him that the United States is evil and Western culture and Western capitalism has to be destroyed. And so 8 years of Obama, during that time, all he did was systematically destroy the culture, the economy, technology, intellectual property, the rule of law, race relations, everything. You name it, Obama just sought to destroy everything that makes America great. All these key structures, the fabric of society, just the rule of law, for example, or just race relations. A lot of white people voted for Obama thinking that he was going to heal race relations. Turned out he made them far worse than they'd been since the 1970s, let's say. So Obama was trying to destroy everything. And at the same time, he was funneling money, cash and gold, laundering money to funnel it to Iran so that Iran could have nuclear weapons. And I have no doubt, by the way, that Obama arranged for a U.S. military surveillance drone to be captured by Iran. And he also arranged for the Navy Riverine boats that were captured by Iran. He arranged for that to happen. And then those sailors had to surrender and they had to say all this propaganda stuff. And then John Kerry apologized on behalf of America. The whole thing was a setup. It was all staged. It was all John Kerry, Obama, Hillary Clinton, and all these people, the same criminal traitors, staging all of this to transfer military technology to Iran while making America look bad, and then creating this nuclear deal that actually gives Iran nuclear weapons over time. And then on top of that, funneling literally tens of billions of dollars to Iran in cash and gold, bypassing the international monetary banking system, which had restrictions on money transfers to Iran. Obama just decided to bypass all that and just launder cash, just like a drug dealer, just flew in a whole cargo plane full of pallets of cash and gold and just deposited it right there on the runway for the Iranian leaders to use to develop nuclear weapons. That's what it was all about. Now, some people say, no, it was money for hostages being released, or Obama and CNN would lie to you and say, no, it's part of a settlement from 10 years ago that the U.S. owed Iran this money. Well, if we owed them the money, why couldn't we do it by a wire transfer? Why does it have to be illegal cash and gold that Iran can use, think about it, to pay cash, suitcases full of cash to buy uranium on the black market, or to buy nuclear weapons technology by bribing, let's say, Russian scientists with suitcases full of gold and cash? The reason it was cash and gold is because that's what they can use to acquire these things on the black market. Obama knows that. That's why he had it all delivered in cash. I got to tell you, if you step back from all this, that one of the big things you have to remember is that the globalists do not maintain power through world peace. They only maintain power by causing war. They have to cause, just like they cause a race war in the United States, they want international war on the global stage. And to them, it is a stage because they stage everything. But they need this war. They need conflict. They need military funding. They need weapons development. They need people to be afraid. They need countries to be under attack. They need mass hysteria and fear to be present in the world so that they, the globalists, can maintain power and control. And if they don't have the proper amount of mass hysteria, then people tend to be freed. People tend to wake up and become, more prosperous and more informed and more aware and awake, and they tend to think for themselves, and the globalists can't have that situation unfolding. So they have to continue to assault the psyche of the world citizen through wars and nuclear war, the threat of nuclear war. And this is what Obama was trying to achieve. Think about the big picture here, folks. There is, Obama's a Muslim, and I'm not against all Muslims. I'm not against people being Muslim. I'm just saying that there is a Muslim takeover of Western Europe happening right now. It is underway. It is happening right this minute. Western Europe is being essentially invaded and taken over by Muslims. Obama, working on behalf of the anti-Western forces, has been conspiring with the leaders of France and Germany especially, and other countries, including the UK, to allow this Muslim occupation / invasion and takeover of Western Europe. At the same time that Obama, he authorized a $350,000 grant to go to defeat Netanyahu in the Israeli elections. So Obama was interfering in Israel's elections. And at the same time, he was funneling cash and money and nuclear weapons technology to Iran. And so was Hillary Clinton. And guess who else oversaw this? Guess who else swept it all under the rug when Uranium One was being schemed up to give control over U.S. uranium mining companies to the Russians? Guess who was involved? Robert Mueller. Robert Mueller. He was, of course, former director of the FBI, where he swept this under the rug to protect Hillary Clinton. Robert Mueller has been a fixer for the deep state this entire time, and so has James Comey, by the way. And if you really look at the big picture, you come to realize pretty quickly that there's a whole bunch of traitors in America that need to be indicted, imprisoned, charged with multiple, not just felony crimes, but crimes of treason against America. And those include James Comey, Robert Mueller, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Loretta Lynch, Andrew McCabe, John Brennan, James Clapper, and a long list of other names that I repeat from time to time. These people are traitors. These people have deliberately acted to transfer highly dangerous nuclear weapons, military-grade technology to America's enemies, which include Iran. And it's only by the grace of Trump that we have been able to pull out of this deal and stop this threat from growing even more dangerous. And this is why Hillary Clinton is attacking Trump for pulling out of the Iran deal. This is why John Kerry is attacking. Oh, John Kerry also needs to be arrested. He's another seditious traitor and enemy of America. John Kerry was over there negotiating with Iran as if he's still the Secretary of State, which he isn't, in total violation of the Logan Act, which, of course, nobody's been prosecuted under. But John Kerry's over there committing treason, negotiating with the Iranians to try to salvage the nuclear deal, undercutting the President of the United States. John Kerry needs to be arrested. He's a double agent. He's working for Iran. He's working against the interests of the United States of America. If there's ever a case of treason or sedition, whatever the appropriate charge is, John Kerry is it. And he's not the only one. It's Barack Obama and others. I tell you, these people want to start nuclear conflict in the Middle East. These people want to see America's allies literally nuked. These people are working with the Russians, which is why they have to create the fake news narrative that it's Trump working with the Russians. Remember, Everything they accuse Trump of doing, they are doing themselves. This is the blueprint for liberals and Democrats. Whatever they are doing, they accuse others of doing. Remember Eric Schneiderman, New York Attorney General, who was out there, allegedly, according to 4 women, he was having sex with women and then choking them and slapping and beating them, physically, violently assaulting them in bed and threatening to have them killed if they broke up with them. At the same time, he's at the Women's March talking about women's rights, talking about how Trump is this evil, misogynist person, and how he, Schneidercock, is going to defend women while he's beating them, bashing them in their ears and faces in his own bedroom, allegedly. I mean, what? But you see, this is the pattern. This is what they do. Whatever they accuse others of doing, they are doing it themselves. That's probably the best definition of a Democrat. It's someone who accuses other people of doing crazy, insane things, but they're doing those things themselves. That's a Democrat. And so Schneidercock had to resign. Bottom line, Trump may have just prevented World War III. Trump may have just saved literally millions of lives by pulling out of this Iran nuclear deal. But because the globalists desperately wanted this deal, they wanted Iran to have nuclear weapons, I wouldn't be surprised if they now try to start World War III just so that they can blame Trump. So if there is a nuclear event, a nuclear false flag, a nuclear terrorism, a nuclear whatever that happens anywhere in the Middle East right now, it's the globalists. They're doing it on purpose. They're trying to blame Trump. They're now trying to massively destabilize the region so that Trump doesn't get any credit for peace. Remember, these globalists are the same asshats who ran around and they had Barack Obama given a Nobel Peace Prize for doing nothing, and then afterwards he went on and just bombed a bunch of countries and caused a bunch of mass war casualties. That's the Pulitzer, or the Nobel Peace Prize today. And the Pulitzer is given out to fake news organizations that fabricate fake news with fake sources and claim that Russia stole the election. When in fact, it's Robert Mueller, Hillary Clinton, James Comey perhaps, and Barack Obama who are working with the Russians to get them nuclear material so they could hand it over to Iran so that Iran could become a nuclear state in the region to destabilize the entire Middle East and attack America's allies such as Israel. This is the truth. This is the truth that you will never hear on CNN or MSNBC, of course. It's total fake news, lying, fake, anti-American, traitorous organizations. Frankly, some of those people ought to be very heavily investigated for sedition as well, as they are actively conspiring with other traitors like John Brennan and so on to defeat America, to collapse America, or to keep America destabilized. The engineering of events that's taking place right now by these globalists in collusion with media actors like people on CNN or MSNBC, it's so evil. It reaches depths of such evil that you can't even imagine it until you really start getting into it and peeling back the layers. You almost can't imagine that this is happening, but it is happening. I'll probably cover this more in an upcoming video on counterthink.com. So be sure to check out that, counterthink.com. Also, check out my website, newstarget.com. You better be prepared, people. Storable food companies are going bankrupt right now because nobody's buying storable food. And then the minute something changes, all those people are going to panic and freak out. There's going to be a shortage and nobody will be able to get their stored food. So, you should probably get some now while the supply is there and nobody is panicking. Just a little piece of advice to pass along to you. Thanks for listening.
Learn more at healthrangerreport.com.
Thank you for watching. If you want to support our mission, visit us at healthrangerstore.com for the world's largest selection of lab-verified superfood and nutritional products for healthy living. It's at healthrangerstore.com.